now suffer I shall have to suffer forever. The punishments of this life pass, but the punishments of the other life never pass. The punishment of hell will be great, but that which ought most terrify us is that it will be irrevocable. Hell is but little for a mortal sin. An offense against infinite majesty deserves an infinite punishment, says St. Bernardine of Siena. Moreover, this pain must necessarily be eternal, because the damned can no longer satisfy for their sins. In this life, the penitent sinner can satisfy for his sins insofar as the merits of Jesus Christ are applied to him, but the damned soul is excluded from these merits. It is related in the spiritual exercise of Father Sergioni the Younger that in Rome the devil who dwelt in one obsessed, being asked how long he would have to remain in hell, replied in a rage, beating his hand against a chair, "Forever, forever." So great was the terror thus inspired that many youths of the Roman seminary who were there present made a general confession and changed their lives at this great sermon of 2 words, "Forever, forever." Poor Judas, 2,000 years have elapsed since he has been in hell, and his hell is still only beginning. If an angel were to say to one of the damned, "Thou shalt leave hell, but when as many ages have passed as there are drops of water, leaves on the trees, and grains of sand on the seashore," he would rejoice more than a beggar on hearing that he was made a king. Yes, because all those ages will pass away, even if they be multiplied an infinite number of times, and hell will still only be beginning. Each one of the damned would make this agreement with God: "Lord, increase my pains as much as thou wilt. Make it last as long as thou pleasest. But put a limit to it, and I am content." But no, this limit will never be. The trumpet of divine justice will sound forth in hell nothing but "Forever, forever." The damned will ask of the devils, "What hour of the night is it? When will it end? When will these trumpets, these cries, this stench, these flames, these torments end?" And the answer will be, "Never." And how long will they last? Forever. Ah, Lord, give light to the many blind ones, who when told not to lose their souls reply, "If I go to hell in the end, well, I must have patience." O God, they have not the patience to bear a little cold, to remain in a hot room, to endure a blow, and yet they will have patience to live in a sea of fire, trampled upon by devils and abandoned by God and by everyone for all eternity? On the side of the demons. Besides what has already been mentioned, the terrible appearance of the evil spirits makes death yet more alarming to us. It is the opinion of many of the fathers that everyone when expiring sees the evil enemy. How appalling this sight is, and with what terror it must inspire the dying, exceeds the power of words to declare. It is related of Brother Giles that one day, when he was praying in his cell, the devil appeared to him in so frightful a shape that the brother lost the power of speech and thought his last hour had come. As his lips could not utter a sound, he raised his heart in humble supplication to God, and the apparition vanished. Afterwards, when relating what had befallen him to his brother monks, he trembled from head to foot as he described the hideous aspect of the adversary of mankind. Then going to St. Francis, he asked him this question: "Father, have you ever seen anything in this world, the sight of which was so horrible that it was enough to kill one to behold it?" And the saint replied, "I have indeed seen such a thing. It is none other than the devil, whose aspect is so loathsome that no one could gaze upon it even for a short time and live, unless God specially enabled him to do so." St. Cyril, also writing to St. Augustine, says that one of the 3 men who were raised from the dead told him, "As the hour of my departure drew nigh, a multitude of devils, countless in number, came and stood about me. Their forms were more horrible than anything imagination can conceive. One would rather be burned in fire than to be compelled to look upon them. These demons gathered themselves around me, and reproached me with all the misdeeds I had ever done, thinking to drive me to despair. and in fact I should have given way before them, had not God in his mercy come to my assistance. St. Anthony relates that one of the brothers of his order uttered a piercing scream at the sight of a devil who appeared to him. His fellow monks, running to him in alarm, found him more dead than alive. After giving him something to revive and strengthen him, they asked him what the matter was. Then he told them that the devil had appeared to him and terrified him so that all the life had gone out of him. And on their inquiring what the devil looked like, he answered, "That I really cannot say. I can only say that if the choice were given me, I would rather be put into a red-hot furnace than look again at the countenance of the demon." We read much of the same thing in the life of St. Catherine of Siena. She too declared that she would rather walk through a flaming fire than gaze for one instant at the devil. If the mere sight of the evil one is so appalling that the saints think it more intolerable than the pain of exposure to a burning fire, what, my God, must be the fear and horror of the damned, dwelling forever in the midst of countless fiends? How terrified would thou be if a mad dog were to suddenly spring upon thee, pull thee to the ground, and to begin to tear thee with his teeth? Do not imagine that the devil will fall upon the damned with less fury, or treat them more mercifully. We read in the legend of St. Anthony the Hermit that demons frequently appeared to him under various forms, frightening him in indescribable ways. Sometimes they took the shape of wild beasts, lions, bears, dragons, or savage dogs. At other times they appeared in human form, that of fierce-looking men, beautiful women, or monsters of hideous aspect. Sometimes they beat him and maltreated him so cruelly that they left him half dead. Sometimes they caused him such terror by their strange spectral apparitions that had not God and his angel guardian come to his aid, he would have expired. Now if they did this all to a man of saintly life, of whom they had no rightful power, what will they not do in hell to the ungodly sinners who are completely at their mercy? No one can imagine what new terrors and torments these spirits of hell will devise to harass the damned, and to pour out on them their devilish malice. Some console themselves with the thought, at any rate we will have our fellow men with us in hell, and no lack of them either. Beware how you delude yourselves with this false comfort. Every lost soul would far rather be alone in hell, were the option given him. And since on earth it is very terrible to be forced to live with an enemy, who does one all manner of harm, so it is no small affliction to be continually with thousands of people, all of whom they hate and detest from the bottom of their heart. Even thy father and mother, thy wife and children, thy brothers and sisters, thy friends and relatives, would then be thy declared enemies, and instead of showing thee any gratitude, would only seek to injure thee. St. John Chrysostom says, I know many persons who only fear hell because of its pains, but I assert that the loss of heavenly glory is a source of more bitter pain than all the torments of hell. The evil one himself was made to acknowledge this, as we read in the legends of Blessed Jordan, at one time general of the Dominican order. For when Jordan asked Satan in the person of one who was possessed, what was the principal torment of hell, he answered, being excluded from the presence of God. Is God then so beautiful to look upon? Jordan inquired. And on the devil replying that he was indeed most beautiful, he asked further, how great is his beauty? Fool that thou art, to put such a question to me. Dost thou not know that his beauty is beyond compare? Jordan continued, give me to some extent at least an idea of the divine beauty. Then Satan said, imagine a crystal sphere 1,000 times more brilliant than the sun, in which the loveliness of all the colors of the rainbow, the fragrance of every flower, the sweetness of every delicious flavor, the costliness of every precious stone, the kindliness of men, and the attractiveness of all the angels combined. Fair and precious as this crystal would be, in comparison with the divine beauty, it would be unsightly and impure. And pray, the good monk inquired, what wouldest thou give to be admitted to the vision of God? And the devil replied, If there were a pillar reaching from the earth to heaven,